Hello guys, welcome to Daily Current Affairs and Reason program from Team Unlike. Today we'll be looking into three topics. The first topic is transgender rights in India. We'll be looking at the landmark judicial cases in India in the context of transgender rights. We'll also be looking into the Transgender Persons Act 2019 and its important provisions. Then we'll be looking into the National Council for Transgender Rights and the key points under it. In the second news topic, we'll be discussing integrated tri-service theatre commands, the key points under what is an integrated tri-service command and what are its advantages, and then what are the concerns regarding the same. We'll be looking at it both from prelims and mains perspective. In the third news topic, we'll be looking into GM crops. We'll be looking at the key points concerning BT cotton and HTBT cotton, which have been in news. We'll also be looking into the key points concerning the important body, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. All right, let's move on. The first topic that we are considering for the day is transgender rights. It was in news because there was an editorial in Hindu advocating same-sex marriage rights to transgender people, which is in Supreme Court. In this context, the article mentions a lot of historical judicial cases across the globe concerning. So, in the context of this article, we'll be looking at the landmark judicial cases that have happened in India and are relevant from the point of view of the exam. So, first one is NAS Foundation case, which struck down Section 377 of IP. Supreme Court decriminalized homosexuality under this case and struck down parts of Section 377 IPC, which criminalized homosexuality. Now, another important judicial case in this context, in the context of transgender rights, is the Nalsa versus Union of India case, wherein Supreme Court mandated legal recognition of all transgender persons and used the term third gender for referring to all transgender persons. Supreme Court gave the right to self-identification to all the concerned persons, right to self-identification of their gender as male, female, or third gender, and the judgment also called for the creation of a body, National Council for Transgenders, to look Union of India case 2014. Then you have Justice K.S. Puttasamy versus Union of India case 2017, which is important for right to privacy. What is important is the case mentions bodily autonomy as okay. Then you have the Transgender Persons Act 2019, or otherwise Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019. What are the important provisions? It calls for the establishment of National Council for Transgender Persons. It defines transgender person as any person whose self-identified gender is different from the gender assigned at birth. It also recognizes the right to self-identify as per the Supreme Court judgment, and it gives a certificate of identity as per the self identification, and this certificate of identity can be obtained from DM's office. It prohibits all kinds of discrimination against transgenders. Then, what is important in this context is National Council for Transgender Persons. It has a main body committee which comprises of Union Minister of Social Justice acting as a chairperson, representatives from 5 states or UTs, 5 members from the transgender community, and representatives from 10 central departments. What are the other important initiatives? Ministry of Social Justice also had two other important initiatives in the context of transgenders. One is National Portal for Transgender Persons, and the other is Garima Grah. National Portal for Transgender Persons is basically a portal that allows transgender persons to apply for digital certificate and a certificate of identity online. Garima Grah is more or less a shelter, a community shelter for transgender persons set up in Gujarat. You can read more about this. The article mentions the concept of self respect marriages, which is rooted in our history. You should read Dravidian movement. Self respect movement is wherein, as a sign of opposing Brahmanical supremacy, marriages are conducted without priests. This such type of marriages in Tamil Nadu are referred to as Swayam Maryada Kalyanam, self-respect marriages. You can read more about it. Dravidian movement and self-respect movement are important in this context. In the context of transgender rights, Yogya Karta principles are also important, which defines sexual orientation as part of human rights. The second important topic for the day is integrated tri-service theatre commands. It was in news because a high-level committee has been formed for wider consultation on the creation of an integrated. The committee would hold discussions regarding bringing paramilitary forces under the purview of theatre commands. And there are two proposed commands as per the article. One is Air Defense Command, which would integrate all the air assets of the armed forces, including Army, Navy, and the Air Force. Then you have the Maritime Theatre Command, which plans to bring all the assets of Navy, Coast Guard, as well as coastal formations of Army and Air Force under one single umbrella. On the land front, Army's Northern Command and Western Command are proposed to be converted into two to five theater commands. These are the key points mentioned in the article. And in the context of the article, you should know what is an integrated theater command. It is basically a unified command of the three services under one commander for a particular geographical theater. So geographical theater is nothing but a geographical area. And for one geographical area, you will have one commander under whom all the three services in that area would function under a single command. In such a integrated theater command, the commander would be able to mobilize all resources at his disposal and will not be answerable to individual services. This was suggested and proposed by Shekatkar Committee in 2015. It envisaged creation of three integrated theater commands, one for China border, one for Pakistan border, and one for the maritime route. What are the advantages? You can discuss in detail, but the most important advantage here is that it avoids duplication of resources. It makes the fighting group more cohesive as it is under one single command. It improves the tooth to tail ratio of fighting group. What are the concerns? The domain knowledge of the commander can be limited, hindering his performance. There are also difficulty in bringing consensus between different services regarding cooperation in an integrated theater command. Also, because of the huge hegemony of army in most matters. These are the key things that you have to know in the context of integrated tri-service theater commands. Moving on. The third topic that we'll be discussing is concerning genetically modified crops, that is GM crops. They were in news because there is a huge increase in illegal cultivation of HTBT cotton, which is herbicide tolerant BT cotton. Sales have doubled from 30 lakh in 2020 to 75 lakh in 2021. So we'll be looking at, in the context of the article, what is BT cotton, what is HTBT cotton, what are the issues concerning cultivation of BT and HTBT cotton, and Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, which is the highest body making decisions regarding approval of genetically modified crops and organisms. Okay. Regarding BT cotton, it was created by genetically modifying the cotton genome to express a microbial protein from the bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis. So that's where the name BT comes from, Bacillus thuringiensis. The genetic modification was done to combat a particular insect, cotton bollworm. BT cotton is the only transgenic crop that has been approved by the Center for Commercial Cultivation in India. This is important, you should know this. It is the only transgenic crop that has been approved for cultivation in India. And what is HTBT cotton, which is in use? HTBT cotton is herbicide tolerant BT cotton. It acts against herbicide glyphosate, but it has not been approved by the regulators yet because of fears of carcinogenic effect and also fears of possible pollination resulting in the creation of super weeds. But we'll look into what are the issues concerning illegal cultivation of HTBT cotton. Because HTBT is not approved by GEAC yet, which is basically Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, we don't know its environmental consequences. So unknown environmental consequences, then we should, what is important is there is no accountability on the quality of these illegal seeds being sold to farmers. And the level of pollution, including genetic pollution, these seeds could cause to environment is a major issue. And the illegal sale of these seeds also causes huge loss to seed industry and a huge loss to tax revenue in the form of tax revenue to government. Now, what is Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, which we are discussing in this context? Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is responsible for the appraisal of activities involving genetically modified crops or organisms in research and industrial production. So, it is the highest decision-making body that gives permission regarding cultivation or research of genetically modified crops or organisms in India. It functions under the MOEF and CC, which is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. You can read more about BT cotton and other GM crops, but this is the basic context of it. Okay, so that's all from today's news. With more news articles.